Let's talk a little bit about TikTok and what's going on with your mother, because it sounded like your mom was like pretty supportive in that time when you were at the trap house and going through that.
Right.
And, I actually like knew who, like before we even met in person, I knew who your mom was because she was your biggest fan on social media. We'll talk a little bit more about you as a person, but like you're different than a lot of other people. And then your mom advocated for you consistently online until recently, where some viral TikToks came about and it looks like there's a huge feud between you two.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to talk to you about that because, her videos are getting millions of views over here. It's very personal and family business. So
It has recently come to my attention that IcyWyatt and his girlfriend Mazing have been saying some pretty horrible things about me on the internet. I wanted to go ahead and clear the air about 3 things. 1, the dogs, 2, the Mercedes, and 3, just what an overall loser I am. And Wyatt and Mazing had found out that they needed to get a FAVN test for their dogs that took like several months to get the results before they could actually move to Hawaii. They had called me crying, asking me if I would watch their dogs for them. I had originally asked if Mazing's mom could take Stormy since she lives in California, she wasn't working at the time, and she was moving to Hawaii. And then that way I would only have to take care of 4 dogs. 2 cats and 2 kids. And to which I was told Mazing's mom said, fuck no. Wyatt wanted to go ahead and give back the Mercedes, and I said, please don't. Go ahead and send it to me. I will pay for the shipping as well as all of the payments while it was here. That way, if he ever needed his car one day, he would have it. Now, I don't know what to do in this situation. I don't know what's correct. I do know that I love my son very much, and I have been protecting from himself for as long as I can remember. I even have several videos on here where I have come to his defense when I probably didn't need to. But every time I try to hold my son accountable for his actions, I end up getting hurt.
So were you talking about her online, which led to her to make this video? Like, was there a rift, like personally in your, personal life that you kind of like maybe hinted to on social media and that kind of like escalated it?
So my whole life is on social media, obviously. So if I'm upset or affected by something, people are going to know. They're going to ask why. And so people are asking, why are you in a hotel? Like, why are you not staying with your mom where she has this big house with this backyard, with this turf that supposedly all the dogs can be taken care of and all this stuff? Why are you in a motel? Not even a hotel, it's in a Best Western.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cheap, by the way. It was $1,000 a week. But so she's like having me stay in a hotel because her house is so uncomfortable. She wanted me to sleep on the couch in the living room.
And this is like recent, right?
And this is really
like
recent.
So like this is like post Hawaii, like kind of you coming back to California. So she had like your dogs too, right? Watching your dogs that you had.
So she was watching my dogs.
How many dogs do you have?
2.
Okay.
So
when you
she
said
was
dogs, I was thinking
watching-
like 4 or 5. I was like, how many dogs are out
crazy.
here?
It's 2
So
really
she has a
small
dog
dogs.
and I have a dog.
Yeah.
And she offered to watch the 2 dogs because she was getting her backyard redone in turf. So she was like, I already have 3 dogs, or I think she has 4. So she's
You
like,
guys were moving to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And like it's hard to bring animals
and she
there.
offered. I have friends in Florida that would have taken care of my dogs, no problem. And I trust them. And she offered because whatever. Anyways, what were we
That was
saying?
the beginning of like the riff. So you guys had a personal riff about the dogs
riff.
and
No. So it was never a riff. Like, it was never an issue. She offered. It was like a nice thing. And then I came here and I was like, all right, well, now I have to stay in a hotel and take care of all these puppies. Like, this is kind of ridiculous.
yeah.
And I realized that I was spending enough money that I could like get a apartment.
Yeah.
With that money. It was going to be like $21,000 for the time that I have to stay for these puppies. That's how much money it would be for a hotel. So I was like, I'm just going to get an apartment.
Yeah.
So I got the apartment and I wanted to sit down with her and have like a celebratory dinner or something like that. And we got into it over something. She like kept talking about something that I didn't want to hear about because I can't drive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that due to like the criminal charges you had in Florida? Or is this something new?
A mixture. So like before, the reason why I went to Florida was because I couldn't drive here. I had like so many traffic tickets and like driving on suspended license, DUIs, everything. So I went to Florida and I got my license and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I was able to drive there. Then I got into trouble in Florida. And so now that I'm here, even if I was allowed to drive here, if I got pulled over, I could get the maximum sentence, 10 years.
Okay,
in
so
prison.
it'd be a big offense.
Yeah, like
so
even
she was
if I was
kind of
pulled
like
over for
stressing
speeding.
you out when it
So
comes to that.
she's stressing me out, and I'm in like a celebratory dinner, and I'm like, you know, this is like a good thing happening. And she's like, well, you know, you're not supposed to be driving. You know, legally, if you get pulled over, you're going to go to jail for 10 years. You know that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, can we talk about this another time? Like, I'm really not trying to hear about this. Told her about like how many times, like 5 times to please stop. And I was being really, really nice. And normally I'm not that nice. Normally it doesn't matter who you are. I will be like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about that. Please stop talking about that. Next subject. And I wasn't like that with her. I was very respectful. I was like, can you please stop talking about that? That's not something I want to hear about. Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you about it later. Then I'm like, no, I don't ever want to talk to you about it unless I bring it up because that's something that triggers me. I was hate crimed in Florida. I was attacked by 2 men.
Yeah.
And my car was stuck between like a Chick-Fil-A line. And
Let's talk about that.
They
So-
like backed me in. I can't talk too much about it, but they backed me in so that they could both come out and come on either side of my car and attack me.
So
and
it was
I
at
defended
Chick-fil-A
myself.
where you stopped, I guess, your car,
Yeah.
and they became aggravated, wanted you to move.
Yeah.
Ended up escalating to some type of fight.
Well, like I threw my Chick-fil-A at them because I was like,
Were
get
you
away
there?
from me. No, she wasn't there.
No,
So I was
it was
like,
just you.
Yeah, it was just me by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like no fucking shoes on, no shirt. I was just like going to like real quick run through a drive-thru. I wasn't even going to Chick-fil-A. I was going to a different drive-thru. But yeah, they had saw me on the street and that's what like made them come in. And then I don't remember. Maybe I did have Chick-fil-A. Now I don't fucking remember. I don't even remember. Honestly, I was going through it during that time. But I had some sort of fast food that I had like thrown at them. Like that was like their biggest claim was like, oh, he threw his food at us. Like, yeah, because you're coming both around my car to attack me. So I threw my food at them and then they still didn't stop. And then that's when I pulled out a gun on them. And I didn't shoot it. I didn't do anything like that.
Didn't you hit them in the back of the head, right? Is that
No,
what
not
TMZ
the back of the
reported?
head. That's why TMZ is such a little bitch because they will say something like, oh, and then he hit them in the back of the head as they were fleeing. No, the fuck they weren't. He looked at me dead in my face. And I was like, are you sure you want to fuck with me? I told him multiple times that I have a gun.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. And I'm like, but what is there to be scared
What were these
of?
guys like? Like, describe like what they looked like. Like older men, like our age.
Big fat hillbilly in like a white pickup truck. That's what they look like. And I'm in a pink Mercedes with this type of nails.
Yeah, tattoos up.
Blue hair.
Yeah.
So that's what the fuck it looked like. And anyway, so when he tells his statement, he says that he was so scared for his life because he was looking down the barrel of the gun and his life flashed before his eyes. No, he was sitting up there telling me, I ain't scared of you. I'm gonna fuck you up anyway. So that's why he got hit dead in his face. I hit him right in his fucking face. I didn't hit him in the back of the head. I hit him in his face.
Yeah.
And fucking, because you're not gonna say I tried to hit somebody while they were running away.
embarrassed.
And yeah, he's just embarrassed. And then he got on the phone and tried to say that I was some big scary. When he called the police, he said I was a big scary man with tattoos, all this stuff. Excuse me, my tattoos are peace, love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And icy. Like I'm not some big scary.
So you think he was like kind of like it was hate crime vibes, like because he
definitely.
like
It's because my car was pink.
Yeah.
And I was at this time we had lived in an area that was very like right wing. Like it was very
Very like it was just giving very
Trump,
normal.
like the
It was
house
very
you guys
Trump.
ran,
Very
right?
normal.
It was Florida.
Yeah.
So it was very Trump. Everybody had Trump flags on their cars. Like it was giving like that type of vibe. And I don't mind that vibe. Like
Yeah.
I live in Florida and like I can fuck with it.
Yeah.
But these were like definitely older. They were brothers too. Like I found out later they were brothers. So they were definitely trying to like.
And you went to jail for 2 nights, I believe. And how was it going to jail?
It was crazy. The police officers, they like saw me as a famous person.
Really?
So there was a time where I was clicking off my acrylic toenail because the cops had stomped my feet out. And I
Really?
had acrylic toes. Yeah. So they were like bleeding and all cracked. And I like flicked the toe. And the police were fighting over who gets to keep the toenail and like putting it in their pocket. And they were treating me like a celebrity. I got like my own room. Like it was really chill. It was whatever. But
It was like a vacation.
the police treated me really horribly going to jail.
Yeah.
Once I got to jail, it was mad chill. It was fine. I made friends. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
And I've been to jail like multiple times.
So when it comes to those charges, like you're kind of figuring out what's going to happen next, or
Waiting for it to either go to trial or no.
would you, if you were to like go in, would you try to like use some defense of like hate crime like vibes that they were motivated by?
When it goes to trial, yes, that is going to have to be brought up, definitely, because, you know, I am bisexual. And before I met her and got with her, I was dating men and women. So to me, it's a hate crime. It's somebody who's different than you. You went and attacked them. They could have easily left me alone, but they got me all the way until they pinned me somewhere, and I had to use force. And I did not even use deadly force. I popped him with the gun. I did not fucking shoot him with the gun.
So
my gun literally has a lock and key. Like, you cannot shoot it.